Hey YouTube, YugoRocks97 coming at you with a deck profile on Infernities. Recently I've been playtesting Infernities a lot. I've pretty much tried like everything and like just a lot of testing, and it's a really fun, good deck. So I really want to show you guys how Infernities are. Like, this is Infernity XYZ, not the synchro version, so just thought I'd get that out of the way. And yeah, I've been playtesting like everything, and it's just really good. So I'm going to show you guys the deck profile. 3 Infernity Archfiend. Pretty much the main card searches for all your other Infernity cards, and you want to just spam him, like just special summon him as much as possible while making XYZ plays. And yeah, he's just the heart of the deck. 3 Necromancer. It's pretty much the reborn for your Archfiend, making good XYZ plays, and just getting pluses off Archfiend even more. And it's also good for like Leviair and stuff because it's level 3. So yeah, it's also very important to combos with like Launcher and stuff. 2 Summoner Monk. This card's really good because it helps set up your grave. Like, you can pitch spells for like Armageddon Knight, Greffer to set up your grave. And it can also like get Archfiend if you have no cards in hand, and you can just search right there and start going to your chain. He's really good because it's just an instant Levolve All chain if it doesn't get like Veilered. So yeah, he's really good for helping the deck. 2 Stygian. You need to play 2 Stygian. It's really good. It allows you to get like Archfiends out of your hand and use their effect. Just more summons, and allows you to go off in Infernities. Because Archfiend can search monsters instead of spells and traps if you have these, because you can just special summon them. And yeah, so he's pretty much just something that's like you need in grave, and it's really good. 2 Armageddon Knight and a Greffer. It's your choice. I guess it's your personal choice on how many like of these you play. I like 2 Armageddon Knight and 1 Greffer instead of like the other way around, because Armageddon Knight, if you draw him and like Archfiend, then you can just go off right there. Greffer needs another monster to pitch, which I don't like sometimes. While Armageddon, you just summon and he's good. But Greffer's way better in a bad hand where you have to pitch a lot. So he's your main target for like Summoner Monk over Armageddon Knight, because it just gets rid of bad hands really well. So I'm gonna play 1 of him. So that's 13 monsters. Infernities play a low monster count, so spells. 1 Launcher. It's the double reborn. It's the go-to card with Archfiend, and it just makes a lot of plays. 1 Rhoda. Gets your Armageddon Knights and your Dark Greffer. It's really good, even though you only have 3 targets. 1 Foolish. Just dump everything you need. 2 Instant Fusion. This is one of my favorite cards in the deck. It just helps with the XYZ plays. If you open like that in Armageddon, you can go into Levolve All Chain and just top deck Archfiend. It really helps with like speed, and sometimes you really need that extra XYZ or material to go into an XYZ with. So you can either keep an Archfiend on the field for your launchers, I mean not launchers, for your barriers or something like that. So it's really good. But you don't play like 3 because you don't want to draw 2. Like, if you draw 2, sometimes it's kind of sad. 2 Upstart. These aren't going to stay Upstarts. These are actually both going out for Duality. You might find it strange to play 2 Duality in this deck, but I don't really like running 1 Duality in like anything I play, and I don't really like the card Upstart itself. It never actually like helps me. I would have just put in my Dualities in here, but my friend borrowed them for a tournament, and I haven't gotten them back yet. So I want to play Duality over this, because I actually don't like Upstart as a card. Staples now, 3 MST. You have to play at least 3 MST in Infernities and Night Beams if you want to run them, but at least 3 MST. Heavy, Dark Hole, Reborn, just your big power staples. A lot of people don't play Dark Hole, but my reasoning for playing Dark Hole is because even though it's not the greatest this format, it's still like, if they go first and they get a good field, it's a card to get out of your hand, if anything, so you can limit your hand count. Mermails can still make Abyss Gaios and stuff, so it's still good for that. And like, even though it's not the best of this format, it's not so terrible that you can't even pitch it for Summoner Monk if anything goes wrong. I mean, it's still Dark Hole, it's still really good, so I chose to play it. On a traps, because it was 14 spells, 13 traps, I played triple barrier. Some people like to play 2 because it gets cloggy. I know there are some builds that play 2 and 2 and some that play 3 and 3. I chose 3 barrier just because even if you do draw it when you have no monsters, when you top deck Archfiend and summon it, they can't, like, because you already drew one of these dead, they can't like Fiendish Chain or Breakthrough Skill. So it's not too bad to draw on its own, but it's also like my main search with Archfiend rather than like Break, because I like Break as a card a whole lot, but Barrier is just my go-to card, so I chose to play 3 Barrier and only 2 Break. Some people play 3 of this. I know 2 is actually kind of favored, but I only play 2 just because I don't want to draw too many Infernity traps without any like good monsters or anything. Because the only problem this deck has is consistency, so I chose to make it as consistent as possible. And I only chose 2 Break. It's pretty much an out. It banishes Infernity cards, which you can actually use strategically. A lot of the times we'll be banishing like a Launcher or Barrier or the other Break. But you could banish like an Archfiend if you have 3 in grave, or well, 3 in play all together. And then you could Levier it back. There's some stuff you can do like that, and it's just an out to certain cards, and it's really good against dragons. Now generic traps are more generic. The Solemn Duo, they're obviously really good. One Call of the Haunted. I was playing a Monster Gate over this, and I don't know if I want to go back to that, but Call is really good because if you get stopped by Valor or something and you have like another Archfiend, you can go off with it. Or it just helps you come back from Valor plays, and it's just like another Reborn, so it's really good. Even though it's kind of slowish. It's slower than Monster Gate, but Monster Gate's not always good. 2 Fiendish Chain, I'll probably be taking these out for Compulse. I don't know, these can clog back row, and I don't like that sometimes, because it becomes a Diamond Dire target more than anything. And Compulse is just really good against all Exceeds right now. 2 Bottomless. One of the best traps in the game right now. One of them. It's just really good to get rid of cards. Pretty much anything dragon summon that's not a dragon. Just all the Exceeds. And 2 Mirror Force. This card's really good. You have to play it in Infernities. I know Mirror Force isn't one of the most favorite cards right now, but in this deck you have 3 Barrier. So you can stop all their monster effects and have Mirror Force become like super good. So this deck has to play 2 Mirror Force. And also you have to protect your Archfiend to activate your barriers. That's the main deck. I actually do have a little bit of the extra, but most of it is borrowed by my friend. So don't take this extra deck too seriously. It has the main cards, but don't take it too seriously. 2 Chain. You at least have to play 2 Chain. Like, have to play at least 2 Chain, or else the deck's not really... I mean, it's still runnable, but you need 2 Chain. It just sets you up for everything by dumping cards. And if you can't do anything more, you top deck with it, which is really good. So it's just the setup for the deck. I only own 1 Diamond Dire, but I'd probably play 2. It's an out to everything, just simply an out to problem cards, and it clears your board. Sometimes you pop your own cards just so you can launcher them back and just go off and plus more. But it's just an out to like big monsters, because this deck actually doesn't summon anything over 1800 attack, like in generality. I don't even know that's not even a word. But this gives you outs to big monsters and problem cards like Necro Valley, pretty much stuff like that. What's really cool is if you run the level 3 you run is Fusionist, so if you have this in Instant Fusion, you could pop that instead of popping this. I play 2 Levier, but my friend has the other one, combo piece for Stygians and whatnot. Maestroke, it's an out. Pearl, it's really big, which is good for this deck. It just kills Evil Swarm, even though this deck really doesn't have a problem with them, because everything it summons is under 5, like, doesn't summon anything over 5. I play Giga Brilliant. Some people may find this kind of strange, but it's really good to get over stuff like Zen Mains and Maestroke that this deck has problems with, and I don't currently own the Black Corn, so yeah. Plus, if you make this, instead of Levier to get back Stygian, if you have the play where it's 2 Chain, Archfiend, Levier and Stygian attack mode, that's game. But if you make this, you'll have 21 Archfiend, 221 chains, and a 21 Giga Brilliant, which is still game because it's 8400. So it still makes the OTK work, and it makes everything big, and having your Archfiends be big is really good. And this is just like a placeholder because I don't have my full extra deck. I only have the fusions, but I think I play 2 Darkfire and a Fusionist. Might take out a Darkfire though. I play this because, well, if they Veiler your Archfiend and you have Reborn and you're bad, you probably get back the Veiler and Synchro, but don't ever do that. I play Shockmaster for sure. I play Fusions, obviously. I play Utopia. I think I play Zenmains and Leviathan. But this is the only extra deck I have. No sides on me. So this was the deck profile. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave your thoughts in the comments and tell me what you guys thought. Any ideas that you might have to make this deck better, because I've been testing a lot of it, but I still like to hear from my subs and viewers. Please subscribe, like this video. This was Yu-Gi-Oh! 7. Bye, YouTube.